Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! Seconds from game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it, it comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it, and to the middle of the 15, to the 20, breaks free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5.
For the 3rd time in 6 seasons, it's one goal achieved. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to nSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, guys, go to YouTube. Type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it. That'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now you can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I tried to make it nice and easy for you folks, but thanks to some damn hackers, they made it a lot more difficult. Facebook, I'm now at Shawn.Sierra. 2025. On Twitter, I'm at SeanSierra33. On Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, I'm still at the Shawn Sierra. Listen, I got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it, just bring it. Let's check the chat, because the chat is jumping already. So I'm talking about Cornelius Squall is in the house. Like, top of the morning to you, Shawn. Hope it's all well with you and yours. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. My man, Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. Jr.'s in the house. What's up, Baba? He says, Shawn. he has something else he wanted to call me. How we usually greet each other, but it's a family show for the most part. Black Diamond's in the house. Goes top of the morning, gang. FGB, what? FGB, what? Hope all is well, my guy. Thanks, Black Diamond. I appreciate it, man. Thank you much. Mr. Southside himself. What's up on a hump day? Southside, stand up. That's what I'm talking about, man. These boys, man, these boys are doing it. Levette Lee's in the house. She's like, happy hump day, y'all. Hump day. I like it. I like it a lot. Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. I saw Junior. Junior's laughing because he knows what he knows how we usually greet each other. I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this more. The usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. Hey, my man Fred Pfeiffer from the Big Red Bus is going to join us today at 10 o'clock. The Bulls received the number 4 overall pick, and they have the number 15 pick. So they got two. They have 2 picks in the first round. One is going to be a very impactful player. Another one can be a very productive player. So we're going to talk to Fred Pfeiffer at 10 o'clock about this Bulls situation. But we have a lot of other sports to talk too. We got the Bears. We didn't, man, since I wasn't on Monday, we didn't get a chance to talk about the Bears and the rookie mini camp that was held over the weekend. We're going to talk about that. Cubs and Sox are prepping this week for the Crosstown Classic starting Friday on the South Side. Okay, I think I'm going to go to Friday's game. I'm fired up about it. What's really funny? So there's going to be a tailgate, right? Bring your own drinks and everything. So we get a little tipsy. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. And there's 4 people who are going. I said, hey, are you going to the game? Are you going to the games this weekend? I said, I don't know. I might go. If I do go, it'll be Friday. Like, I got your drink. I got your first round. I got your first round. There's 4 people. It's 4 people who got my first round. I'm like, that's 4 drinks. I'm good. I'm good, baby. I'm good. Hey, listen. Don't get mad when the team from the South Side puts boot to ass. All right? Don't get mad. Do not get mad. All right? We got nothing but love for you, Black Diamond. Got nothing but love for you. Except this week and later in the season when we play again. I don't want to sweep. I just want 2 out of 3 to let you know. Sweep would be nice. Just give me 2 out of 3. Hey.
Baseball season's underway.
That's petty, Steve-O. That's petty. And then you muted me, too. You son of a gun. Play that nonsense and then muted me. You're a fool, Steve-O. Oh. Nonsense. Man. My man King Booker World checking in. What's up, Baba? How are you? Thank you for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. Shawn, Corny, Black Diamond, Junior, Levette, Shawn, salute. Hey, remember, no pleasantries to all the scrub fans. All right, it's like, I don't even know who you are. We are not cool. Let the shit talking begin. Cornelius says, Petty King, Black Diamond, Shawn will be on a milk carton after this Cubs beat down. Like I said, I don't want to destroy their confidence. I don't want to sweep. I'll take a sweep. All right. I'll take it, but give me 2 out of 3. All right. Just to let you know. Just so you know, we back. So you know we're back. Oh, man, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Oh, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Whew. So 10 o'clock, Fred Pfeiffer. What do you say? Hey, like Roberto Duran asked Richard Pryor in Harlem Nights when Tommy walked in, do you want me to kick your ass? I am looking forward to Friday's game. It's going to be fun. Like I said, I'm probably going to go to Friday's game. It's going to be fun. The shit talk is going to be at an insane level. I'm wearing my throwback, my City Edition jersey, the red and the black and the red jersey with the black and the red hat. We'll be rocking it. We're going to be doing it. 85 degrees is going to be, no. I think it's going to be 75 to 80 degrees and it's going to drop because it's in the evening. It's about 75 degrees on Friday, 80 degrees on Saturday. Yeah, it's going to be one. I'm fired up. And I'm not talking shit saying we're going to whoop your ass. I'm not. I'm saying I'm looking forward to it because we have a chance to whoop your ass. We have a chance to we're beating good teams. But you're another good team. All right? You have the second best record in baseball, I want to say, or is it just the National League? Let me double check. I don't want to misspeak. Cubs, 27-15, 643. Second best record in Nationals, 643. Third best record in baseball, 690. The Braves, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the American League, 675. And then the Cubs have the next best. So you have the third best record in baseball. Okay, the third best record in baseball. Second best record in the National League. Okay, so if we're able to beat you 2 out of 3, we're definitely doing things. We're definitely moving in the right direction. And that is what I'm looking for. That's what I really, really need for us to do, is start doing things properly, moving in the right direction, and get this thing turned around. Like when we get that 63rd win, when the White Sox get their 63rd win, I'll be happy than a pig in slop, because now they will have assured a season where they will not lose 100 games. There will be no 4-peat. No 4 consecutive years of 100 losses. Okay, when we win 63, which is coming real, real soon. All right, you guys, the thing I like about it is, because right now what are we at? We're at 19-21. A couple of games. So we're at 20 wins for all intents and purposes. All right, and we're at what? Was that 40 games in? You're looking at 80. Wow. So if we're 40 games in, so if you can't do the math, 4 times 40 is 160. Play 162 games. If we're about 20 wins, that's 80, so 76. We're at 76 wins, which I think we'll have more than that. We're averaging out right now. We're on pace for 76 wins. I'm more than okay. No, I'm not more than okay with it. I want 500 or better. I want 500 or better. But we'll see. But this team is trending. This team is doing a lot of good things. A lot of things that are necessary. And I'm glad that Will is the guy who's taking them there from point A to point B. We'll find out if he's point B to point C guy. We got to get to point B first. But as far as the guy to get us from point A to point B, Will's that guy. Will's that guy, and I can't wait to see if he's the dude to take us from point B to point C. But let's get to point B first, and then we'll have this discussion again. So, looking forward to it this weekend. Whew. You know what? Both teams. Well, the Sox are playing a little better baseball right now than the Cubs. The Cubs are on a 3-game losing streak. Here's the only thing that I'm a little concerned about. Sox fans, Cub fans. The last time the Cubs had a 3-game losing streak, you know what happened? They went on a 10-game win streak. Can't have it this time, because that means you would sweep us on the south side. No, can't happen. Can't happen. Let me just say, the shit talking is going to be at a premium. At the tailgate that I'm going to go to, at the tailgate I'm going to, it's always a great mix of people, Cubs and Sox. So, because, you know, there's too many of the north side baseball fans on the south side. But that was because, you know, not everybody had cable back in the 80s and early 90s. Okay, and the Sox were on Sports Channel, and the Cubs were still on GM. So, but man, I'm looking forward to today's show. Today's show is going to be dope. So, as our own Uncle Hawk Harrelson used to say, sit back, relax, and strap it down. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we are going to get to our top of the morning topic. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn, Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago.
127 Brymere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Okay, is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
You should totally talk to him. No, I don't know though. I'm scared. I mean, you're so...
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Three-two pitch here to Murakami. There goes Antonacci. Swing and a miss. And a stolen base for Antonacci.
He would pick it up pretty quickly.
Hit on a line and a good jump by Kelenic as he makes the diving stop. One out, Drew Romo. Gets a charge into this one. Back it goes in right. Caglione at the wall. It's gone! Fourth home run of the season for Drew Romo. And the Sox get on the board here in the 5th. Well, we said he's got some pop in his bat. 2 balls and a strike here to Vargas. Hits this one hard, and Antonacci is off with the crack of the bat. He will be waved in and score easily. We have a tie game here in the 5th. RBI single for Miguel Vargas.
Welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Chicago Sports Network. Those were the good guys on the South Side with a comeback victory yesterday. Man, oh, see, Steve-O cheated us, man. He left the end of the game off with Hill comes through with Derek Hill comes through with a big pinch hit home run to chase my drop home run. See, Steve, man, Stevie jipping us on the White Sox highlights. The Cubs highlights are 4 minutes long coming out of break. When you don't get shut out back-to-back games. Shots fired. Hey, guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
She won't
See, which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? You know where we're starting. We're not even playing around. I ain't even playing with you mugs. Come on. The good guys. Yeah, baby, baby. Derek Hill. That's what I'm talking about, baby. The White Sox beat the Royals yesterday 6-5. Eric Fetty, no decision. 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 free pass, 2 punch-outs. Brian Hudson, he gets to save his second of the season. Drew Romo, 1 for 4. He got the scoring started, as you saw in the clip. He's 1 for 4 with a homer, his 4th of the season, driving in his 5th RBI on the campaign. Chase Mydroff, with Steve-O conveniently omitted, was 1 for 4 with a homer, his 3rd of the season. It was a 3-run blast, driving in his 6th, 7th, and 8th runs of the season. Miguel Vargas was 2 for 3 with an RBI, his 23rd. Derek Hill, 1 for 1, a pinch hit home run, his 3rd on the season, his 4th RBI on the campaign. I'll tell you what, man, it was huge. Huge because it was the bottom of the 8th. The game was tied. Bottom of the 8th. Game was tied at 5. All right, the White Sox had just given up their lead. And Derek Hill unties the game. But also, not only does Derek Hill untie the game, but in the bottom or top of the 9th, the next half inning against Bobby Witt Jr., man has a beautiful diving catch. If he does not make that catch and that ball gets by him, there's a really good chance with the speed of Bobby Witt Jr. that could have been an inside the park home run. Because it was a right field. As there's no help, no center fielder, he's in center. And the ball was going toward the line. So moving away from the center fielder, if he doesn't get that, Bobby Witt Jr. could have a potential inside the park home run to tie the game. So he does it in the bottom of the 8th, unbreaking the tie, untying the game with a homer, and then saving a big play with his glove. Great stuff. Staying with the top of the morning topic, the White Sox host the Royals again tonight at Wright Field. First pitch at 6:40 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. That's 1000 a.m. The probables for tonight's game for Kansas City. Seth Lugo was on a bump for the Royals. He's 1-2 with a 2.31 ERA going up against Noah Schultz, the local left-hander for the White Sox. The good guys, he's 2-2 with a 4.68 ERA. And let me put this up. How many of you thunk this would have ever happened? The White Sox are 1 game under 500 and 1.5 games out of first place in the American League Central. I wouldn't have thunk it, that's for sure. I would not have thunk it. The 20-21, 1.5 games out of first place. 40 games in. A quarter of the season is gone. A quarter of the season's gone, and they're in playoff talks right now. I know it's only the end of the first quarter of the season, but as of right now, they're in the playoff hunt in the American League. I don't know if it's going to stay that way because it's 162 games. It's a grind, and things happen. People get hurt. But as of right now, the White Sox are a playoff contending team as of today, being 1.5 games out of the lead in the AL Central. You don't got to like it. Learn to live with it because the good guys are here, and they're here to stay. The next top of the morning topic, the Cubs. Yeah, tough one, gentlemen. Cubs fell to the Atlanta Braves 5-2. Colin Ray, he got the start, he got the loss. He's 4-2 now, and 4 1/3. 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 free pass, 1 punch out. Alex Bregman delivered the only hit for the Cubs yesterday. He's 1 for 4 with that home run, his 4th of the season, driving in his 14th RBI. Mo Baller, Moises Ballesteros, he got the other RBI, his 20th of the season. Cubs are back. They're still down in the ATL. Okay. Tonight. All right, they face them again tonight. First pitch is at 6:15 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 104.3 FM or 670 AM, The Score. The probables for tonight's game for the Cubs: Shota Imanaga. He's on the bump for the North Siders. He's 4-2 with a 2.28 ERA. Going up against J.R. Ritchie for Atlanta. He's 1-0 with a 3.63 ERA. When I was typing this up, I was like, didn't the Astros have a guy named J.R. Ritchie? They had J.R. Richards. So all my old school baseball people. Junior, you might remember the name J.R. Richards. All right. Cornelius. All right. Michonne, you might remember the name J.R. Richard from the Houston Astros. Remember that? You might remember that one. When I was typing, like, J.R. Ritchie. And I'm like, something's not right, not completely right with that, because it's J.R. Richard. Here, my old heads. All old heads unite. Hands up. All the old heads. But Shawn says, yeah, I remember him. Cornelius says, oh, yeah, he remembers. My man Rick Gonzalez checking in with Que Pasa Amigo, FGB and F visiting Wisconsin. Hey, Rick, you're going to have to go back, man. We had some good Sox talk to start the show. Thanks for tuning in, bro. I appreciate you. Big time. Keeping it moving. The next top of the morning topic, the Bulls. Ole the Bulls. The Bulls get the number 4 overall draft pick in the upcoming NBA draft, and they're going to pair that with the number 15 pick they have in the same draft. So the Bulls have 2 quality draft slots in this draft. Number 4, they can get a difference maker. A lot of people are mocking Caleb Wilson, 6'10", forward out of North Kakalaka of North Carolina, to the Bulls. If they get this guy, that would pair him with Mattis and Josh. Remember, Josh is only like 22, 23 years old. I think Mattis has just turned 20 or 21. This kid would be 19. What a way for new vice president of basketball operations for the Bulls, Mr. Graham, to start his tenure. What a way. What a way. You got the number 4 overall pick. You got to make it work, baby. You got to make it work. You got to make it work. And one of his strengths, let me put this down. One of his strengths is talent evaluation. You know, Bryson Graham, his thing is talent evaluation. Cornelius calls, remember, J.R. Richard was a bad man. Yes, he was. Oh, Cornelius jumping on the Rick. He's like, top of the morning, Rick, salute at FGB and Wisconsin, too. We got shit talking in the chat. I love it. Black Diamond says, Rick, don't go into hiding after this beatdown over the weekend. And Rick says, Diamond, what's good? Black funny. I was going to say the same thing to you, FGB. Oh, man, you guys are awesome. And that's what I love it. You know, the shit talking, we're all adults here. You know what I mean? We're all adults. We shit talk. We're guys. Nothing personal. You know, we don't cross the line. We just good old-fashioned shit talking. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you're the hammer. Sometimes you're the nail. It happens. It happens. Next top of the morning topic. Rick, pay attention. The Sky. The Sky traveled to the Bay Area to face the Valkyries. Tip-off today is at 9 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on the U. They do not have a radio broadcast, so just the U. I know, Rick, you're excited about getting that Sky info and finding out when they played again next. So I did that one just for you. Hey, King Book World, I can go with that. I'm cool with that. He's talking to Cub fans. He goes, after the White Sox sweep y'all, then y'all can go on another 10-game run. Hey, I'm cool with that. Hell, you can go on a 15-game run. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I don't care. We take this. If the Sox sweep them, you know how many fights they're going to be on the South Side? You know how many fights they're going to be? Because you North Siders are going to be crying. You North Siders are going to be crying like, no. And we're going to be rubbing it in big time in our stadium. Telling you, get your ass out of here. Get back up on the North Side. Get back in the closet with your KY jelly. Get out of here. And you're not going to like it. It's going to be awesome. Black Diamond says, and you guys will be the nail as usual. We'll see. We will see. The Bears held rookie minicamp this past weekend. Okay. It was interesting. It was these youngsters' first time. Well, they had veterans too, but the youngsters, their first time in in the NFL. And I know you're with a whole bunch of rookies, and it was a little the vets and everything weren't there, but it's a start. Okay. There's a ramping up period. Okay, that's necessary. There's a ramping up period that's necessary because I'll tell you, when I went to college, they had all the freshmen there. We got there about 2 or 3 days. About 3 days before the upperclassmen got there. And that was because they wanted you to get used to the facility. Like I had to go and I had to find out, where's the bathroom? The mess hall. Where's the dining hall? Where everything was on campus, where my dorm was in relation to the Hart Center. That was the name of we practiced behind the Hart Center up in Worcester at Holy Cross. And just kind of get a lay of the land and get familiar with guys my age before we came in with guys who were bigger, faster, and stronger than us. Because we're coming from being the man. A lot of us came in being the man where we were at, and they get thrown in the shithole like, nope, you're lowest on the totem pole now. You see guys in your position who are all Americans and all conference, it is bigger and stronger, faster, it can do something to your psyche. So you bond with your class, and then you bring the veterans in. So what they decided to do, here's what the Bears did. The Bears, they signed 4 people. They signed Kyron Hudson, wide receiver, linebacker Wayne Matthews III, wide receiver Scotty Miller. He's a veteran, and he actually played youth ball with Cole Kmet up in the northwest suburbs. And then they signed linebacker John Riddigan. Now, they had a surprise retirement, wide receiver Squirrel White. Okay. Gets the tryout, and decides to retire. Hey, you know what? It's a good time now. I don't know what his reasoning was. That's his and his alone. But that's what he was saying. He retired. Low key, really like the Miller pickup. Yeah, Scotty Miller. So this Scotty Miller might be the bridge, and it'll be for 1 year. Okay? It'll be 1 year, because once Xavier Thomas is able to run and gets very adept at being that slot receiver and the drag routes and everything else, that could happen by midseason. That could happen by midseason. They're not going to need Scotty anymore. So, Rick, you're a damn fool. Rick is a damn fool. He said, Shawn, you think the Cub fans are going to try to hold hands in the bathroom at the rate? FGB. They're going to have to do it across urinals, because we have these thing called urinals, Cub fans. We don't have a trough. We have urinals. One person per. They're going to have to reach across and reach out and hold hands with the guys next to them. Holy sheesh, that is freaking hilarious. That's awesome. That is awesome. Cornelius says, this draft class looks like it might be the final piece of the Bears Super Bowl puzzle. Let's go. No, I think they're going to need a free agent signing, but I think we're going to have to find out where that is. I think with this kind of patched in most of the holes, and then they're going to have that one signing that they need. They'll take them over to the top, is what I believe. I don't think this is the final piece. I want to see just the penultimate piece, the second to the final piece. That's what I'm thinking. Cornelius says Squirrel White never regained his speed after his knee injury, and that could be it's valid. That's valid. And the last top of the morning topic tomorrow, baby. Tomorrow. The NFL schedule release is tomorrow, May 14th at 7 p.m. Central. It will be released on the NFL Network, ESPN2, ESPN app, and NFL Plus. So if you have the NFL, if you have the NFL app, you'll be able to check it out. So if you're not anywhere at a sports bar, which I plan to be, yeah, I'm fired up. And speaking of that, Adam Schefter. Do I need to get rid of this? Let me see. No, we can do that. Okay, these are the international games. All right, the 11, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9 international games. All right, the Bears are nowhere to be found here. Okay? The Bears are nowhere to be found. So, in the Smoke Fellas Facebook, or the group chat we have, on group text we have, they asked what's the over-under, what we thought the over-under was for Bears primetime games. They had 5.5. Someone said, I'll give them 5.5. What's the over-under? I said without the international game, it'll probably be under. They'll probably have 5 primetime games. Because I would have said 6. I was thinking 6 primetime games, which have gone over. But since they're not in one of these international games, I think they're gonna stick at 5. I think they should be at 6 or 7. And that could change. That's the cool part. Remember, the last 2 weeks, you can flex games. I don't remember if it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks of the season. You can flex games. So they can be flexed into a primetime game. They can be flexed into a Monday night game, a Thursday night game, Sunday night game as the season progresses. Shawn says he's asking, there's a lot of the Bears playing the Seahawks on opening night. That's what a lot of people are saying. That hasn't been confirmed yet. A lot of people say it is. A lot of people use Michael Wilbon to say that because Michael Wilbon brought it up on a 4-letter network. So people think it's, he might have an inside track on the opening game. Rick says you have to play Seattle week 1, right? No, not yet. We don't know. It's possible. It's a strong possibility, but we don't know. We won't find out till tomorrow. Cornelius, don't get me started, bro. So we shouldn't have an international game because the Bears have the toughest schedule this year. You don't know. You don't know that. What have we learned? Cornelius, don't say this nonsense to me. Do not say this nonsense to me. Okay? Now, numbers are one thing. So if you want to say they're playing their strength of schedule might be the toughest due to last year's records, okay. Doesn't mean they have the toughest schedule. Some teams are going to regress. Some teams are going to meet. They're going to meet their star player will be hurt. Some teams just don't play well. They have a down year. Okay, that happens to everybody. So we can't say that their schedule is going to be tough because we don't know what teams are going to be. No team is ever the same 2 years in a row. All right, you add players, you draft players, you cut players, you sign free agents, players retire. No 2 teams are ever the same in the NFL or any sport for that matter. 2 consecutive years. Now, the core might be the same, but no team ever is the same. And let's not forget, you got coaches that leave, you have offensive coordinators that leave, you got head coaches that leave, defensive coordinators that leave. All right, so you get a team that you thought was going to be good because they had a good record last year. They get a new head coach, or their offensive coordinator's gone. What happened to the Detroit Lions when the Detroit Lions lost Ben Johnson? All right, boom. I know they beat us twice last year, but nonetheless, we still won the division after having a 2-4 record in the division. Come on, man. So, yeah, strength of schedule. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that because we don't know. King Booker World. I don't give a rat's ass who they play and win. I feel they can compete with every team in the NFL. I do too. And if you're getting a team that thinks they're, how can I put this? You're getting a Seattle team that is coming off a world championship if they play Seattle, but you lost the Super Bowl MVP. All right? You lost the Super Bowl MVP to another Super Bowl champion, the Chiefs. Kenneth Walker III going to the Chiefs is a huge, huge pickup. Huge pickup for that franchise. So how much was it, Kenneth Walker III? How much? You got to stop JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba. But I think we have cornerbacks who can do it. We're gonna have a healthy Jalen Johnson. Okay, and then for us to see who the opposite corner is going to be, it's going to be fun. Rick says if we do play the Hawks week 1, we kind of have a mini bye. Yeah, because they're talking about that would be on a Wednesday. So you play them on Wednesday. Damn, you're off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday before you get back to the facility. Yeah, cool. So that'd be dope. I'm down with it. You know what? I don't give a damn. As a player, I want to play the best teams. As a coach, I want to play the best teams. I don't want to dodge any smoke. I want all the smoke because when we whip that ass and we're hoisting that trophy or we're winning the division, I don't want to say, oh, well, you didn't go to anybody. You didn't play anybody. Knowing damn well we can only play who's on the schedule. So you know what? Give me the tough schedule. Let me navigate through it. Let me whoop some ass, go through it. And now you ain't got nothing to say. Now there's nothing for you to say, nothing for you to try to diminish our accomplishments because people will do that. Haters will do that. So we can take this strength of schedule that the Bears have. If the Bears win another 10 games, now what are you going to say? Oh, they regressed because you won 11 last year. Oh, boy. Then we could throw right back in their face, but we had a tougher strength of schedule. So I ain't dodging any of the smoke, man. None of it. Oh, yeah. Cornita says Jalen Johnson looks like he's healthy again. Hell yeah, he's healthy. Remember, he tried to come back too soon. Now he had a whole off season to get better. Well, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we're going to welcome our guy, Fred Pfeiffer. Got a lot of bull stuff to talk. We got to talk to new GM or new president of basketball operations, not GM. He's got to hire the GM. All right. Give me his thoughts on that, that selection. And then the fact that we have 2 top 20 picks in this upcoming NBA draft. So keep it locked right here. Fred Pfeiffer on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings. I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport like that.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Every body in a work zone is someone's somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
Riley out to right center. PCA, long run into the gap. He jumps and he makes the catch. Pietro, awesome. Best defensive player in the game. Sensational. Bregman deep to left field. Dubon races back. He's at the wall. It's gone. Alex Bregman ties it up. One swing of the bat.
Yeah, that's what he's been looking for. Talked a lot about the fact that he's been hitting the ball hard, but a lot of it on the ground.
Welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Marquee Network. Those are the Northsiders down in the ATL, and that was the only hit. Only hit yesterday was Alex Bregman's home run. Rough one. Third loss in a row for the Northsiders. They'll probably have one or two more losses before they head into the Sox series on Friday. But they're probably going to have 2, maybe 3 losses on Friday this weekend. I know I'm just talking shit. I'm just playing. But anyway, my guest today, I'm excited to have to talk. We haven't been able to talk. A couple of things have transpired. I'm fired up to hear about them. The Bulls have a new vice president of basketball operations. Michael Reinsdorf apologized to the fans. And it seemed, and I'm going to talk to you about this, but it seemed heartfelt. It seemed heartfelt. It seemed like he was embarrassed. Because, shit, I'm embarrassed to be a Bulls fan a lot of times. The bullshit they put out there. Patrick Williams. Signing him to an extension. Come on, man. Some of the other nonsense that they've done. And I know the Bulls are my third favorite team. Okay? But they were my second favorite team for a long time. During the Jordan era when I was able to talk shit to all my New York fans that I went to college with. My Boston friends. But it's an embarrassment to have been a fan because of the nonsense they do. And hopefully this turns it around. So we're going to welcome him. He is the host of the Big Red Bus podcast. You can find him on CBE Fred, Chicago Bullseye. Let's welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports, our man, Fred Pfeiffer. Fred, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Shawn, I'm doing great. I can't believe how exciting things have changed as a Bulls fan in the last 2 months. Think about it. We got the Trailblazers pick at 15. We win the lottery, get into the top 4 in a 4 superstar draft. Things are really looking up. We get rid of Acme, thank goodness, and things are Braden. Things are looking so. Mr. Graham is just doing amazing things so far. So I am beyond excited. I'm glad to be here with you, and I hope to be on here a lot talking about a title contender over the next 3-4 years for the beloved Bulls.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. It's exciting for us because it's a new beginning. We're hoping this guy has a clue. Okay, because it's so many things have been so clueless. And I mean, you don't take, like, my question is this, like, I know you got to start as an intern and you got to work your way up in the front office, but damn, how stupid do you have to be to not see what you need? How dumb do you have to be to continue to make horrible decisions when it's literally in front of your face. Yes, re-sign this guy. No, don't re-sign this guy. No, I get it. Now you go acquiring talent who's going to fit in and blend in with you have. That's a little different. But when you have guys who aren't very good and I'm talking about Patrick Wood, and you give him an extension, or you bring in other guys who just aren't very good and you give them money, it's like, what are you doing? Hopefully this guy has a clue. And that's one of the things that they said. He's a very good talent evaluator. And, man, we have a whole bunch of expiring contracts. We got tons of money. We got that number 4 overall pick. Holler me about that number 4 overall pick with this guy who's renowned for being a good talent evaluator.
Yeah, and Bryson, I mean, if you look at his history, some of the guys that he's got and picked or been part of front offices, with like a Herb Jones or a Trey Murphy, it's pretty clear the type of player he wants to bring into Chicago. And he used the acronym SLAP, which I love: size, length, athleticism, physicality. I was going through this roster that, he inherited. There's very few guys on the roster that you could say have all 4 or even close to it, maybe the possible exception, Coro, and then obviously Modest is getting close, although he needs to work on his physicality. So I love everything I've heard so far from Bryson Graham, and I really think that we're hopefully going to be moving in a new direction with a team that's far more versatile defensively. I think that's been our biggest issue. Is if you look at all the teams left in the playoffs, almost all of them have some real talent on the perimeter, especially, but also are able to guard the rim for the most part. And the Bulls have just been far lacking too much in defensive talent. It's been a horrific situation under Acme. We've, starting out with getting Vooch, who's a big hole there in the center. I call him the rim presenter. A nice, skilled, great guy, skilled offensive player, but he's one of the worst rim defenders, and he completely puts a ceiling on where you're going to be defensively because you have to adapt everything to him. You can't switch on pick and rolls. I really want to see the Bulls move in a direction where they start getting some real talented athletes in the front court that can defend the rim, switch, and provide that defensive versatility like Oklahoma City and you see other teams like the Spurs are able to do. So I'm just so ecstatic that we've kind of moved in this other direction. I mean, just to look at what Arturas, you kind of touched on it a little bit. He doubled down on all his mistakes. Patrick Williams at 4, huge bust. You look at that draft; it's just absolutely loaded with talent. He was one of the 3 big misses in that draft. And then so he doubles down on it by giving him a 5-year extension with a player option. It's insanity. You look at the Vooch. Vooch was a mistake. The Vooch trade was a mistake. He gives him a 3-year extension. No team in the NBA was going to give that guy a 3rd year. And that 3rd-year extension cost the Bulls because you couldn't trade him. It deemed him untradeable in 2025 when there were also good players in that draft, and they could have gone in a different direction at the trade deadline. Instead, there was no market for him, and you had to hold on to him, and he was just good enough to get you into mediocrity. So I'm just so glad those days are over. We have nothing but positive now. 4th overall pick, 15th overall pick. We should get 2 studs. We have a lot of room to sign free agents. It's not a good free agent market, but there are a couple unrestricted free agents I'm interested in, and then we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Who are you interested in as far as unrestricted free agents? Who are you in?
Well, I mean, if you look up and down, what do you think what would you say our biggest need right now is in terms of like looking at the Chicago Bulls roster? And then I'll kind of give you a little hint where I'm going with this.
Give me someone who could nail down a God blessed 3. And I know we need defense, but that's every year. But give me a dead eye.
Walker Kessler to me is like, so he's a big who protects the rim at a very high level. He's with Utah. If you look at Utah, they have Jaren Jackson Jr. They have Lauri Markkanen. They have a bunch of good, solid young players that they're going to have to pay. Now, Utah's throwing out there, we're not going to lose Walker Kessler. He's an unrestricted free agent. There is no way Utah's going to pay going to the second apron for a team that's never even come sniff the playoffs. I understand they're going to be much better next year, no doubt about that, but there's no way they're going to do that. So that's the one guy I'd like to throw a deal at. That the question is how much do you pay for a guy like that? But he is an elite rim protector, and I think he would solve a lot of what ails us. Duren, a lot of people talk about who's going to be an restricted free agent. You could throw a max at, but I don't know, man. I don't know how you feel. He has not looked good in the playoffs at all. The other night, I think he had 1 rebound in the second half, 8 points, 2 rebounds overall. I don't think he had a rebound in the second half. I'd be very hesitant about giving him a max deal to try to steal him away from the Pistons. But those are two guys that come to mind that really quickly could vastly improve the state of our front court at the center position. What say you?
Yeah, I think rim protection, but I probably the best. But I just want someone who can play defense, because if we're able to frustrate, okay, the ball, like we did a lot with Caruso, and then with some of the other guys back in that whole crew. It makes it a lot more difficult to get your offense running efficiently for the opponent. All right, because now you're starting to run your offense with 10 seconds on the shot clock, and you usually want to start with more. And now you're taking quick shots. Now you're doing this. It disrupts the flow of the offense. So if we can have somebody guys who can pressure the ball up front. I know it's not Josh Giddey, but if we can have guys, who can come in and do that, I think it's going to make a huge difference. Because look at, and across the sports here, look at the Bears. All right, they were opportunistic. Statistically, they weren't a good defense, but opportunistically, they led the NFL in turnovers, led them in interceptions. Look at the Cubs up until a 3-game losing streak. They're probably the best defensive team in baseball. And yeah, you're starting to get hot right now, but your defense. Who was it the other day that they were interviewing one of the pitchers, and he said, "Because I got the defense behind me, I could go in and pitch." The White Sox. They're playing much better baseball. They're a game under 500. Why? Because they don't give teams extra outs. They don't give errors. They don't make errors. They play strong defense. So if we can get defensive with this Bulls team, a guy who you talked about athleticism, rim protection, but also getting the passing lanes and just bother people once they have the ball, it's going to be a whole different team, a whole attitude. And that's what I want. I want give me mugs who want to play defense, who want to score 20 points. Why? Because we stole it and we're fast break.
Well, one of those guys that you're describing, I think, is also RFA that I'd want to go after, and that's Peyton Watson of Denver Nuggets. He was injured in the playoffs. It absolutely killed the Nuggets' chances to go. He's 6'8", just absolutely. He's got length, size, everything that. He's only 23 years old. Everything that we're hearing from Bryson Graham about what he wants. I'd expect that guy would be another target potentially as an RFA, because the Nuggets aren't going to go into second. There's no way they're going to. They have a ton of salary that maybe there's a way they can shed some of it, but they're in cap hell. So I think that's another prospect along with Walker Kessler. In a perfect world, getting Watson, getting Kessler as RFAs in this marketplace, I think would be great. If they don't do that, then I think I would strongly consider taking on maybe a quote unquote bad contract in order to get additional draft capital as we take a slower, longer period to kind of go through this rebuild. But Peyton Watson is a name just I think would address a lot what you're discussing, what we need in terms of defense, and he has I think a pretty high offensive ceiling too as it continues to develop.
So what's your thoughts? Caleb Wilson has been mocked to the Bears. It looks like the Wizards are targeting AJ Dybantsa from BYU.
Yep.
Right. Then Utah. They go Peterson. They go. What's the likelihood? So because he's been mocked to us. Darren Peterson is mocked to Utah. What's the likelihood of Caleb Wilson falling the Bulls at 4? And do you like that young man?
Oh boy, that's a great question. I think anything is possible right now. I think I've been hearing a lot of rumors that Caleb Wilson might go to Memphis.
Yeah.
And then if that happens, either Boozer or Peterson falls to us. Regardless, all 4 of these guys are going to be fantastic. If I had to choose, I would love to get Boozer at 4. I mean, Boozer, any guy you're going to get at 4, especially with Boozer or Peterson, are going to be angry, and they're going to want to prove a lot of people wrong. And I think it's going to be.
That's a great point, Fred. Holy shit! I didn't think about that. About that. That's a great point.
Especially, Shawn, if it's Boozer or Peterson, because most people have Wilson kind of mocked at 4. But I think especially if one of those 2 guys fall, they're going to be that anger. It inspires a lot of great people. That's what Brady used. That's what Jordan, I'm sure, used to a certain degree when he went 3 behind, unbelievably. But overall, I still think I'd probably say right today I prefer Boozer. I think Boozer out of all four of these guys is going to be the most impactful immediately. He's such a solid player. He did a little bit better, and I don't know if you followed yesterday at the combine. He actually was a little bit quicker in some of the drills than Caleb Wilson was. Now, Wilson, all you got to do is watch the tape. The guy's an athletic freak. It's just unbelievable how many dunks he had compared to any other. I think he was second in all of college basketball in terms of dunks per game. I mean, it just hits you in the face how good of an athlete this guy is. He's not a great shooter, though. Watching these playoffs, I really think it's difficult. I don't know where his ceiling is going to be as a shooter. I think he shot 26% from three in college. Obviously, he's going to get better at that. He's going to work with the player development team to get better at shooting. But that's a little bit of a red flag for me, because especially when you watch these playoffs, if you don't have the physicality, which he does have, but if you also are a non-shooter, it really puts a limitation on how much time you're going to be on the court. Teams will just sag off and double, other players, and if you can't punish that, I think it eventually could hurt your team. So I guess that's the question: where's Caleb Wilson going to be in terms of 3-point shooting and extending his range and becoming more of a threat? Something we'll find out. So I'd have to say Cameron Boozer already has that. He's an excellent shooter. He shot 39%, I believe, from three. He's just a really talented, strong, big player that I think right now, if you drafted him, he immediately goes in at the 4. I think he'd be a good complement with Modis, who, Boozer's definitely a better rebounder. Modis is definitely a better shot blocker. I think they'd be really great together as kind of like a front court. Darren Peterson, I think I just find him fascinating. I mean, if you watch his high school tape is arguably the best high school tape I've ever seen. It's unbelievable, some of the things you see in that. His college season was up and down last year, very controversial. Asked out of a lot of games. Was kind of I'm starting to talk to some Kansas. I have a lot of close Kansas friends about his season. I mean, in general, people still say incredible talent. No one's going to deny that. But they had questions about what was going on. So I'm trying to get a little bit more deeper into that. But if you look at his tape, one thing bothered me was look at all the shots he took that I thought were quote unquote bad shots. He was doubled. Now, to his credit, a lot went in, but it wasn't like Kansas was devoid of talent. I'm not sure that that was one thing, was his shot selection I had some questions about, but he can shoot it. And he is super talented physically. I mean, guys is super long, 6'4.5". I love Peterson too. All these guys I love. I love AJ the best. I think he's the clear number 1. But Peterson, Boozer, and Wilson, I think, are almost tied, in my opinion. So whoever we get, it's going to be a win. And it's going to be easy. Just take whoever out of those 3 falls to us, and then let's go.
Guys, we're joined by Fred Pfeiffer. He is the host of the Big Red Bus, and we're talking Chicago Bulls basketball here on Shawn SierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. I watched a lot of his Caleb Wilson. Excuse me, we're gonna have 2 Calebs now if that happens. Caleb Wilson's highlights, and the one thing I do like is his aggressiveness. I do like his physicality. He's got to get bigger, which is fine. I'm not worried about a skinny dude. And we've seen Modis has been in the weight room. So I think Caleb will be another person who's going to get in the weight room, and with his physicality, those 2 attacking the rim and defending the rim, I think would be really, really, really beneficial to this team overall. So I liked him. Because I'm not a big college basketball guy anymore. All right.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate the one and dones. I think they need to make them stay 3 years. You don't need to jump to the NBA with the NIL now. You don't got to go. You don't got to worry about feeding mom. You get NIL money. Let these freaking kids develop. Let them get the fundamentals down. Let them floor. Let them grow.
Well, that's happening, Shawn. I mean, that's happening now. Like you look at Yaxel Lendeborg, who to me, I'm shocked at the conversation around this guy. So last year, Yaxel, for anyone who's not aware, Yaxel Lendeborg was projected to be a first-round pick, second half of the first round. He was given some rumors $7 million to go back to play for Kentucky in NIL money. Chose to go to Michigan, made a lot of money doing it. And I think he's been discounted. Like we still have a lot of draft nicks who are living in like this is 2015, and if he's 24, we should stay away. He is 24. Yaxel Lendeborg took more money to go back to college, and what did he do? I think that's the question. What did he do? He was the best player on the best team in the best conference. He absolutely brought it. He's the best two-way player to me I've seen in this whole draft. Now he's 24, right? Obviously, he's older than a lot of these guys. But I think right today, he's already better as a two-way player than any single player on the
He comes in, his floor is higher. His floor is higher.
He's a fantastic basketball player. He's 240 pounds. So put that, I mean, Shawn, you play against guys who are 215, like Modest, and 240, like Yaxel Lendenberg.
Big difference.
Huge difference. He plays incredibly physical. He's a two-way player. He was the only guy I saw this year that I felt, really did a great job on Wagler. And when they put him on, I thought Wagler really didn't have – I mean, you needed to get him off it. He would fight through picks. I just think the guy's a fantastic basketball player. Now, the Bulls have the 15th pick. If he falls to 15, you have to take him. And I'm arguing
I don't think there's any way –
it's just like,
I agree with you, Fred, but I don't think there's any way this dude's falling to 15. Yeah,
no, Oklahoma City will take him at 12 if that happens. I agree with you, but Shawn, there's people out there now saying Mara should be ahead of him. And Mara was on the same team, 7'3". He's got a lot of nice features. I watched at least 15 Michigan games. There was not one game where I stopped watching that game and I said, the best player in Michigan today was Mara. Every time it was Yaxel Lendenberg, with the exception of the championship game because he was hurt and he still tried to play. Says a lot about an individual who's going to be playing for his draft future. And I actually thought Merez Johnson is a St. Rita guy. Actually was the second best guy, went to Illinois, transferred to Michigan, who's now kind of skyrocketing up the draft. He had a really good measurable. I think he was 6'9", 250, who I think plays with a high mortar. I thought most of those games I watched, Merez Johnson was better than Mara. But Mara's 7'3", he's 257, I think. But everybody's like flipping out over his measurables. Wow, look how great he did in these running tests. And my counter is Zach Edey was 299. He's like 30 pounds heavier. He beat him in every one of those measurables in terms of like a sprint, like the athleticism. So if you weren't high on Zach Edey, like I noticed a lot of these draft quote unquote experts were, why are you so high on Mara? Zach Edey was a much better basketball player in college than Mara was. I mean, Mara does one thing really well. He defends the rim. He's excellent rim defender. But outside of that, he shot 58% career from the free throw line. I think it's a huge red flag. You can't play this guy down the stretch of an NBA game. Teams will be hunting him. He doesn't have exceptional foot speed and space. I'm not as high on Mara as a lot of people are. Now, if he's available at 15, I take him. Yeah, no problem. But like the Bulls were at 9, where people debating we should take Mara. I'm like, if Yaxel's on the board or Mara's on the board, I'm taking Yaxel every single time. And not only that, I consider taking Merez Johnson out of him.
I like Merez Johnson. Merez Johnson, I watched him at Rita. He went to Rita for 3 years before he went to Thornton.
Yeah.
The whole situation when Rita had like 3 of the best juniors.
They were terrible. Well, not terrible, but they didn't go anywhere from what I recall. I remember that.
Yeah, they lost to Brother Rice. I was pissed. I think it was Brother Rice they lost to that year, and it was his last year. And then the head coach, Rashawn Russell, left and went to Lawrence. And then those talented guys scattered and went. So, but he plays he has a very physical game. I'm talking Merez Johnson, and I like that. I like that. I like being in the post. All right, baby hooks. I like dunks. I like when you can maneuver around the rim. It's got and I miss that for basketball. Being as old as I am, and living through the 80s and 90s of basketball, I still like physical play. With big guys with a soft touch, big guys who can flush it on you, big guys with good footwork. I mean, I grew up in the Akeem Olajuwon era. You know what I mean? So give me big guys with good footwork who can maneuver in and around the rim, and I like that. So I'd love to see if we can get Caleb Wilson if he falls to us at 4, and then the Mara young man from Michigan. As a rim protector with 15, I'll take it. We talked to you mentioned it. We need rim protection. All right, let's get it. We'll have a good front court with Modest, and Modest's game. He's gained a lot. He's got some more meat on him, which I love. And then Caleb Wilson do the same. And
there's a lot of other names too at 15 though. Like I don't think Mara's going to fall at 15. I don't know what you feel about Hannah Steinbach, who's a freshman. He's only 19, played at Washington, averaged like 18-12, best rebounder in the Big Ten according to most draft nicks. He is an awesome rebounder. I watch a lot of his tape, and I find him kind of interesting. Obviously, he's not going to be elite defensively, but rebounding is part of defense. Like, you got to be a good rebounder to end the possession, and that's what made Vooch remotely tolerable. So he does have that. The things I like about him, I think he's got a high offensive ceiling. He's got a really nice touch around the rim. He finishes extremely well. He's a good athlete, not great. But I think he shot the ball a little bit better than I expected. I think he shot 35% from three. I think that can develop. So that's a name I see a lot at round 15 with the Bulls, which I think would be interesting. Chris Senek, the center from Houston, also is another name I see. To me, that's more the interesting pick, is the 15th pick. Because to me, 4 is going to be whoever one of those 4 falls to us, let's celebrate and have a good time. Any one of those 4 falls to us. Me personally, I kind of hope it's Peterson. The more I watch, I noticed I saw Cornelius in the comments say he doesn't like
Boozer.
Yeah, and but I do like Boozer. I think he's going to be good. He's not going to be. I guess the best way of putting this is Caleb Wilson to me has the highest ceiling and the lowest floor out of all 4 of these guys. Boozer to me is going to be very good. I don't think he's going to be one of the all-time greats, but he's going to be a very good player and make multiple All-Star games. Peterson, I think, has a very high ceiling. I think it's just fascinating. And AJ DeBonza to me is the best player. So I love him. I think he's going to be freaking awesome. I did see a comment I want to address here about, hey, Fred, I heard that the French guy AK drafted is still growing. Is that true? Absolutely is. He's referring to Noah Essengay. Joe Colley, considered to be a friend, reported this, that he's 6'11". He gained at least 2 inches. So he's up to 6'11", maybe 7 feet now. Thing about Essengay, that's the issue, is he hurt his shoulder, and he was a terrible shooter before that. He shot 23% in the G League in 4 games for the Windy City Bulls. Showed a lot of good stuff in that period. But again, if you're going to shoot that bad, Dalen Terry was a guy I always think of too. Oh, he's going to get better as a shooter. He's going to get a better shooter. Well, some of these guys don't. They get slightly better. He still sucks as a shooter. And he never at any level has ever proved to be a great shooter. Now, that said, he's obviously big. He's obviously long. I don't know how physical he is yet. He's still very too light. Interesting guy, Noah Essengay. But he's a guy, like, we were just debating this on the Big Red Bus. We have Bryson Graham coming in here. What happens if he sees what's here and he just wants to trade everything and move everything? I'd be fine with that. Even Modest. I like Modest a lot. He did not shoot it exceptionally well last year. He finished the year at 34% from 3. Obviously, he's going to get better at that. He needs to get far stronger. I thought his physicality still was lacking last year. We saw a lot improvement, but I don't think you can say he's absolutely not tradable. Definitely Josh Giddey. I like Josh Giddey too. But I think there's a significant question when you look at is Giddey and Manas a good fit? They were 4 and 24 down the stretch, I think, together after all the trades. They did not. Their best win was at Phoenix, and what? Modest was out.
You don't have any. Yeah, they were out. But even when they're together, like, you have no help. Like, those two can't win a game by themselves. I mean, we're not talking Malone and Stockton.
But you had Sexton playing at a high level. You had other guys on the team that were playing that were decent. Like, I don't think he should have been that bad. 4 and 24. I'm glad they tanked, right? I'm glad they were terrible because it allowed us to get into the top 4 here. I just don't know. I just always go back to this. Giddey is so hard to build around. Like, he's such a ball dominant usage guy. Mm-hmm. And he's different. The problem is on the other side. He can't guard his position. He can't guard point guards. You have to kind of throw him on the worst. He's almost guarding usually like the 4 or of the other team, the worst offensive player. It's just such a hard tap dance to make that work. So if he wants to move Giddey, I trust in Graham. I trust everything this guy does. Until he gives me a reason not to trust him, let's just move forward and rock and roll. So it's good times to be a Bulls fan.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any untouchables, and I think he said that. And it's unless you have a bona fide superstar, and Modest could be that, but he's not that yet. And so if you can convince someone that Modest is going to be a bona fide superstar, and they'll give you a haul, well, then you're gonna have to take it. And I'll root for that Hinsdale kid wherever the hell he goes, just like I'm rooting for Io up in Minnesota.
Love Io.
Hope you and me both, bro. You and me both. And so hopefully I'm excited about this new direction that they're going. I'm really looking forward. My biggest thing is, who's your coach? Like what kind of mentality, what kind of culture is he going to bring in? Are we going to be a tough team? Yeah, tough. I mean, physical. I mean, back down from no one. I mean, and this is, is that going to be the standard? As we're getting better, as we're developing as a young team, because there's a thing, you can be a good team, you can be extremely talented, but if you don't have that grit, if you don't have that attitude, that mentality, sometimes teams with that attitude and mentality will beat a team that's a hell of a lot more talented just because of that. And I'm anxious to see who he brings in as a head coach. Do you have any ideas? Who are some of the names that you would like to see as a Bulls head coach?
Well, the hot name, I spoke to a number of scouts on this one, and the hot name is the next guy to get the opportunity is Shawn Sweeney, who's an assistant coach with the Spurs. That name keeps on coming up over and over again.
Yeah,
he's very well regarded. Mike Inori, who was, I think, would have been probably our head coach if they would have gone with Matt Lloyd as the GM. He's the assistant for the Timberwolves, very well regarded. Seen a lot of great quotes from him about the players there, including Sam Castle's a name I love. Very interesting. I know he was with the Celtics, I think, when they won a title. I always thought he was a great leader. Sam Castle's a name I really like. Those are probably the top three that I've heard. I kind of want him to just go with Shawn Sweeney just based on the feedback I've gotten. Like, everyone has said the guy's going to be fantastic. So, but who knows, right? As a coach, to me, it's far more important. I love Billy. We disagreed on this. I thought Billy Donovan was a good coach. I thought he did a lot with like a very questionable, horrible fit roster. I mean, you look back on the Bulls the last 4 years, they never had a 4. Rarely, this was Arturas's way of saying, "Hey, I want you to play Patrick Williams, who sucks. He's just a terrible basketball player." And we got stuck with that guy every year. Put in, he should be our starter. He's in the 4, and then he's left, trying to fit just a horrible fit in terms of a roster. And we, like I said, we had a huge experiment. We saw our best 2 players in the last 5 years, the only 2 players make an All-Star team, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. Well, we saw they both went, still playing at a high level, to Sacramento, and it's been the biggest disaster and arguably in the entire league. So that's who this guy had, got to work with. So it just sucks, man. Looking back at how much time we wasted. At least Michael Reinsdorf admitted that he was wrong, apologized to us, moved forward quickly. I don't feel like ownership is going to be an impediment to winning titles. The reason the Bulls suck now is not because of the ownership. It was because they handed the keys to an overmatched dope named Arturas Karasovis, who just made mistake after mistake that I don't want to relist. We already talked about a few earlier in the show. And so now let's just give our support.
It's 10:30, bro. I don't need to start drinking right now. Relax. Although it is 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah. Hey, we should be happy. We got a new vision. We got a new leader. And I thought, I don't know if you felt this, Shawn, I thought that was the best press conference I've ever seen from any Chicago sports figure, with the exception, who's a front office figure, with the possible exception, I thought, of back in when the Cubs made their changes in 2000. Oh my God, I had a senior moment when they brought in
14. Was it 13?
No, yeah, when they brought in
Madden or
no. At the front office, Theo Epstein. My bad. When they brought in Theo Epstein, that was the only other front office I would say, compared in terms of like the first opening press conference. I really felt like that was exceptional. So I'm 100% behind Bryson Graham, and I really think great things are going to happen now.
Well, from your lips to God's ears, man, because I love the Bulls. All right, and we know Chicago it's always going to be a Bears town, but it is such a huge basketball town. As evidenced by the fact that the Bulls suck and they're still selling out. And people are still going because there's only 20,000 seats, and people want to go. They want to go. They want to experience the Bulls. The one thing I will give the Bulls is they give you an experience when you go, win or lose. They give you an experience. It's an experience that people want to see. So I hope the experience ends in a lot more victories in the upcoming years. All right, with some playoff appearances, some deep playoff runs in a few years. Within 3 or 4 years, I'd like to be sniffing and getting into the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay, sniffing around that. And if we are, we're then we're good. Then we make moves accordingly once we're there. We got to get there first, and I think this city deserves it because we are a city of champions, and it's we got to get back into that. The Cubs, they're going all for broke. They're in first place right now. The White Sox, they're a game and a half out of the lead. All right, the Bears have had a resurgence. The Hawks are having a resurgence. They're about to sign the guy from the the Finnish league for the Austria league, the high goal scorer. So all these teams are turning around, and it's a good thing because Chicago, probably my bias, Chicago's the best city in the world, and we need the best sports teams to root for. Fred,
Amen.
Great stuff, man. I appreciate it. Do me a huge favor before you go. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Big Red Bus is on all platforms. Search for Big Red Bus Bulls, and you should find our podcast. Also at CBE Fred. CBE Fred on X is where you'll find most of my comments. I'm on TikTok too. Just search for C Red Fred and Instagram. But I can't thank you enough, Shawn, for having me on. It's always good to talk sports with you. And I think this is a start of just a great dynasty in multiple sports for Chicago. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the next 5 to 6 years bring for us on the football field, baseball field, and on the basketball court. Great times ahead.
Man, so I forgot who you rock with. You rock with the good guys or the Northsiders?
I'm a Cub fan, diehard Cub fan.
I knew there was something weird about you.
From the South Side, from Oak Lawn, South suburbs. And my whole family is Sox fans, but I am a Cub fan. I was able to bring my brother along too. When you grow up on Harry Carey, it's hard to, look anywhere else.
This is what happens when you eat lead paint chips as a kid. Stop it!
How dare you?
All right, buddy. We'll talk soon, man.
Take it easy, Shawn. Have a good one.
Bye now. Guy, that's Fred Pfeiffer. I know a lot of those people. Who Southsiders who were Cub fans. Remember, because a lot of people didn't have cable. Let me tell you something. When I was in high school, I was the only person to have cable in the house. So I had a back room. So when we moved to that house on Fairfield, I was 8 years old. Okay? Did I have my own room? I think I had my room, but we had bunk beds in my mom's room. She slept on the bottom, I slept on the top. I was 8. 8, you still kind of miss moms and And then you're 8-year-old, you're on a top bunk? Come on, dude, how cool is that? But then as I got older, I took the back room. Okay? And when I wanted to get cable, I was into sports. I was in 8th grade. Cable was $9.95 a month. That was basic. HBO and Showtime, I think, were an extra $2 or $3 a month. But the dude said, if you give me $50, I'll hook up HBO and Showtime for free. One-time deal, and you'll get it, and you still get charged $9.99 a month. So I was like, done. So they drilled a hole in the back, and I know my aunt was pissed because it was her building. But they drilled the hole to bring the cable in, whatever. So I was the only one with cable in the house. And my friends who lived next door were Cub fans because they didn't have cable. So you can watch them. All you could watch them was on WGN. So I get it. So there's a lot of Southsiders who couldn't watch the Sox games because remember, they were, if you're old enough, you remember Sports Channel. Okay. Sports Channel was, man, that was back in the late 70s, early 80s. Sports Channel. On TV, Sports Channel, if you remember those. Excuse me. So there's a reason that they're are a lot of South Side Cub fans, right? That and their parents let them eat lead paint chips. But anyway, I'm kidding. But I'm excited. I'm excited for where the Bulls team's going. There's a lot of promise here, a lot of promise. But I want to get back to next couple minutes before we finish up. Our Bears. I'm a little excited about this. A little excited about this. You know, they showed you who they signed, the free agents, but let's not forget who the draft picks. All right, they signed Olin. I mean, they brought in Olin's son, Josh. Okay, they didn't sign him yet, but they brought him in for a tryout. And my question is this. I was talking to Steve-O about this. I was like, here's the situation. You have the oh goodness, now his name is escaping me. Is it Bradbury, I believe? Yeah, Junior says the sports channel. Blackhawks Sting. Yep. You got Bradbury for 1 year. Now, Bradbury is not getting twisted. Bradbury was a Remington Award winner when he came out. All right, that's the best center in college football, named after Dave Remington. He's a Remington Award winner, just as Logan Jones is. But Logan Jones is younger, cheaper. So my question is, you got Josh Kreutz there. What if they keep him as a practice squad, or what if he makes a team? I don't know his versatility. But imagine this. We can assume, and this is from our years of watching Olin play, listening to him talk, listening to him being an analyst. We know his work ethic is second to none. Insane work ethic. And if you don't think that work ethic was passed down to his kids, you are crazy. You're smoking the crackiest crack there is. The craziest crack there is. So you know Josh is an unbelievable worker. You know Josh is going to have that mean streak in him, like his father. So now can the talent keep him there? Because you can't just play with a mean streak. You got to be fundamentally sound. You got to be talented. And then that mean streak on top of that, boom, now you got a great player. So my thought is this. What happens if the Bears keep him around? Practice squad player. Okay. What if he beats out Bradbury for the second string center? I don't know if they would let that happen, because if Logan Jones wins the job and gets hurt, you want a rookie, an undrafted free agent rookie? But again, he's made all the calls in Illinois for 4 years. So here's my thought. If, say, I don't know, and say Bradbury gets hurt. Logan Jones goes in, takes the job and never gives it back. And then they bring Josh up. Okay. And maybe Bradbury's out for a while. Not a career-ending injury, just a long injury, So now obviously Bradbury's gone. At the end of the season, it's a 1-year deal. Not a 1-year deal. He has 1 year left on a deal he signed with the Patriots. So now you got Logan Jones and you got Josh. What do the Bears do? If Josh can play as well as Logan, do you trade Logan? Because how many people have two good centers? Because if Josh plays as good as Logan when he gets his opportunity, people are going to start calling to ask about either Josh or Logan. So do you want to would you keep Josh and say, I'll trade Logan Jones because I can get more in return for Logan Jones because Logan Jones is a second-round pick while Josh Krutz is an undrafted free agent? Or do you let Olin or do you let Josh get good tape and then trade him to a spot where he has a chance to compete for the starting center position on the new team? King Booker World, that would be a great problem to have. Yes. So then my question would be, if they either way, if they decide to keep him over Logan Jones, or they try to build him up and then trade him off to a place where he can compete, would that bear the beef between Olin and the Bears? Would Olin be would McCaskey be like, hey, we got your guy, we got your son Josh over to Seattle, we got your son Josh over to Jacksonville or Houston Texans or wherever. He's starting for them now. He competed and won that job. Are we good? He's making a little more than $15 an hour. Are we good? Are we good, Olin? Are we good? I think Olin would be more than happy if something like that happened. Steve and I were talking about that before the show. Either keep him here or build him up, get him enough tape to a spot, and let him get to a spot where a team wants him to compete and he wins the job. That'd be a great problem to have. And a beef finally between Olin and the Bears would be over. But you know what's funny is that could happen. This is the NFL. Crazy things happen in the NFL. You know it. I know it. Crazy shit happens. NFL stands for not for long. So you get injured, boop. You don't know how long that injury is, how severe. We just saw Ozzie Trapillo, second-round pick last year, playing well at a new position at left tackle. Go down with a ligament tear, and he's probably going to miss all season this year. And then when he comes back, speculation is whether or not he can get back to playing at the level he played at before. There's questions about that. So crazier things have happened. And to stay in the NFL for a long time, you need a good amount of luck. A good amount of luck is necessary to stay in the NFL for long. I don't know. King Booker World says, word around the campfire ahead of schedule. Is any of that true? That I don't know. They don't grant interviews to injured players. Coaches will usually, if he's on schedule, they'll say he's on schedule. And if there have been no setbacks, sometimes they'll say he's ahead of schedule. But that doesn't really, it doesn't really matter. Because the question is, when he gets back on schedule, two things. One, mentally. Because I'm sure they're going to fix him physically. But mentally, will he be able to perform at the level he was performing at before he got injured? That's the biggest hurdle that he needs to climb. The jump to clear is the mental aspect of it. And two, will he physically? Because people talked about that. he might not be able to get back physically to where he was prior to the injury. If you don't get back physically, you're definitely not getting back there mentally. You can get there physically and still not get there mentally. But you got to be there physically first. And that's the question with Ozzy. So I don't know. I'll reach out to my people and see what they're saying. And I'll get back to you on that one, Book of World. You know, I'm looking forward to, you know, mini camp and OTAs and things like that. I'm looking forward to level of comfort that the majority of this offense has with the offense. The level of familiarity that the majority of this offense has with this offense. I'm excited to see the chemistry. You know, we've seen the videos. Caleb was out there in California. Johnny Walker was out there. Dunze's out there. Luther Burden's out there. Cole Kmet's out there. Colson Loveland's out there. I am looking to see how efficient they become. How efficient they become. Because if they become efficient, think of the run game. Think of what we did a lot last year. Think about this new Sam Roush, this new tight end. So now we have a third tight end who is an excellent wham blocker. Right? Kick out specialist on a defensive end. Wham block on a 3-tech or on a 1-tech. And this run game continues to power the way, and we force people down the block in the box. And now Sam, along with Cole Kmet and Colson Loveland, are able to get out into the route. When you thought it was a run, we're looking at a lot of points being scored this year by the Bears. A lot. That is what I'm excited to see. Cool, Brian. Thanks for checking in, buddy. So we're going to Portenza's this afternoon. We're going to leave here around noon. I'm going to bring my iPad with me, support and check in from there. Cool. Cornelia says, it looks like a lot of these draft picks will be significant contributors this year. Yeah. Even the Vanilla Gorilla. Vandenberg. I'm excited to see him. This is a good year for a year that was deemed a less talented draft. I think the Bears did a decent job of extracting. See, in drafts like this could be a great draft class for the Bears because in in drafts where you have a lack of talent, which is this draft was deemed that, you can go in, which I think the Bears did, and target specific players. Or you can go after players with specific traits and say, okay, if we can get this particular player, this is the first, second, third, or fourth player I'd like. If we can get this player to play this position, or if we can get a player for this position that we have, here's the 3 guys that I like. Boom, boom, boom. If we can fill this position, these are the 4 guys that I think that can fill this position. Boom, boom, boom. And it's not necessarily the guys who are 1, 2, 3, or 4 at that position. It's guys who've played that position or they feel can play that position here, but may have played it in college. So when you look at a draft, people say, oh, well, they reach for it. No, not necessarily. Because if this is the guy on our board that we feel is the best fit for this specific position, it's not a reach. You might think it's a reach. The average Joe might think it's a reach because of the fact that, oh, he was rated 120, 130, and they took him in the 67 slot. Well, they wanted to attack that specific position, and so they got the number one guy in that position. Might not be the most talented, or might not be the ones that all the draft experts say is the best at that position, but the skill set is what they need. Foster Covers, what's up, Papa? Thank you for tuning in, my man. I appreciate it. It says Vandenberg will be starting sooner than you think. Barnett could also be a huge surprise. Loving too. So we might have a nice little defensive line rotation. Yeah. Well, thanks for checking in, bro. Appreciate you. So just because people are ranked different players, you can't go by he's number one pick, he's number one defensive tackle, number two defensive tackle, number three defensive tackle, number one safety, number two safety. Will he fit your system? Dylan Thieneman fits the system. He's going to be very versatile. And like I said, one of the last shows I did, maybe Friday or maybe last Wednesday, you don't know. They can go that nickel package can be a dime package. You don't know. You don't have to take out another linebacker because that safety can cover a fifth receiver. You got your two corners, tight ends. They go empty set. You need a dime package. You got two corners. You got a nickel, one linebacker, and your safety. It could be super, super fun. Well, listen. 2 hours is come and gone. I want to thank my guest, Fred Pfeiffer from the Big Red Bus, for coming out and talking Bulls basketball with us here. And, of course, I want to thank you guys, man, for the love and support you guys show me every single show. Let's not forget, guys, start getting your Sports Zone Chicago swag ready. Get it. Get it now. Get it good. Get it like you know you should. Get your Sports Zone Chicago hat. See it up in the left-hand corner. You got your hoodies. The lower left-hand corner. All right, Sports Zone Chicago shirts. Next, we have the script like the one I'm wearing. Got your FGB shirts, FGB hats. I do it all the time. You see him, and Shawn already got his FGB hoodie. All right, get your Bears Victory Monday hoodies or T-shirts because there's going to be a few. There's going to be quite a few. Get your Good, Better, Best T-shirts. Get your Good, Better, Best hoodies. All right, start making your way if you're planning on coming to the double nickels all linen celebration for the SuperBack Saturday, July 25th. Start getting your tickets now. Start making that move. All right, 4:30 to 7:30. Boarding starts at 4. It's on the Summer of George boat, 900 South Wells. Tickets are $55 a person. Open bar. Cash bar. On the boat. Okay. You can order through Eventbrite. I'd rather you not. The fees add about 20% to the price. So I said, forget that. I don't want my people having to pay more. All right. So you can pay me via Zelle. Just got to create a recipient. Just put Sports Zone Chicago, and then the Zelle tag is actually Sports Zone Chicago. You want to pay me via PayPal, pay via Venmo, Shawn-Sierra. Either way, you got 3 different options. Put your name and how many people you're buying tickets for. So put Petty Murphy, 2. All right, King Booker World, 2. Mondolera, 1, 2. You know what I mean? So do that. Make sure you get it. I tried getting this DJ that would have been slamming, but he's not going to be in town. I spoke with him this weekend. Yeah, I was hurt. But don't worry, I'm getting another badass DJ. So we got a lot of stuff going on. Summer is here. The Plank Star. Thanks, Shawn. Great show. Have a great Wednesday. Bears fam, have a great Wednesday. Bear down. Bear down, Plankster. You guys have a phenomenal day. It's going to be a little cooler today, if I'm not mistaken. It gets warmer tomorrow. What is it today? It's only a high of 60. 60 today, 77 Friday. I'm sorry, 60 today, 63 tomorrow, 77 Friday, 85 Saturday, 75 Sunday. So the crosstown is going to be nice. 77, 85, 75. I like it a lot. So listen, get out there, get a walk in, get some of the vitamin D, get out some fresh air. Let your loved ones know you love them, because tomorrow is promised to no one. Please remember that. And live your life accordingly. All right, send someone a text. Send someone. I already got a guy that I'm going to text today, my guy Mike. Mike Gonzalez. Lives out here in Tinley. We went to grammar school. We started grammar school together at St. Anne before I moved and went to St. Rita Grammar School. And then we caught up again. We reconnected to St. Rita High School my freshman year before he transferred to Benito Juarez. And then we reconnected about 4 years ago. So I'm going to text him. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful thing. My nephew being a little smart ass. Don't ever call me Tom Skilling again. I'll tell you why in our thread, but don't ever call me him again. So you guys have a great day. All right. I will see you on Friday. All right. The day. Listen, Cub fans. It's not personal. Just business. Actually, it is going to be personal. But nonetheless, no hard feelings when we whip that ass. All right. At least take 2 out of 3. When we beat that ass at least 2 out of the 3 games. Unfortunately, you were just next. That's all. But have a good one, folks. All right. And from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and I am out.
Come on, lace up, baby.